Judge Mablean. Gina Lewis is suing Mark Lane in the amount of $700. Ms. Lewis claims Mr. Lane keyed her car because she parked in front of his house. Mr. Lane claims he's not responsible for the damage to the plaintiff's car, but is tired of Ms. Lewis stealing his parking spot.
This is the matter of Gina Lewis versus Mark Lane. And Ms. Lewis, you are suing Mr. Lane for property damage when he keyed your car, you said. Tell me about it, Ms. Lewis.
I park in front of Mr. Lane's house on occasion.
He's your neighbor?
Mr. Lane is my neighbor.
Okay.
And I've had constant problems. This has been ongoing for some time. He puts trash cans out in front of my vehicle, even when it's not trash day, and it's a real.
Does he put them there after you park, or he puts them there to prevent you from parking?
He puts them there to prevent me from parking.
And then how do you park anyway?
Pardon?
How do you park? You get out and move them?
Yeah, I have to get out and physically move them. Yes,
okay.
I do, Your Honor.
So he puts trash cans on the street in the parking area.
Yes.
On non-trash days?
On non-trash days, yes.
Okay.
And the situation has escalated to where I've had to call the police to try help me sort the situation out, but they rarely check up on these types of matters. So I've actually asked Mr. Lane quite nicely if he could park in his driveway, or maybe if I could possibly park in his driveway, and he got very irate, and he told me that he's lived in the same house for 30 years and he can park however he likes.
So why don't you park in your driveway?
Sometimes I'm fortunate to get a good parking spot in my driveway, but
it's all your siblings that live there, right?
Yes, the parking spot, the driveway only holds 4 cars. There's 6 people in our family.
Oh.
So sometimes somebody gets left out, and most of the time it's usually me. And I don't have a problem with that at all.
Because you're the last one to get home, usually.
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it only holds 4 cars, and there's 6 of you, 6 cars for your house.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So what happened? Why are you suing him? What did he do?
Well,
or what did you allege that he did?
Well, it all started when I was coming out to go to work at 5:30 in the morning, and Mr. Lane comes running out, waving his finger at me, telling me, "You better not park in front of my house again." And we got into an argument, and the neighbors called the police, and they were brought out. The police, resolved the issue by telling Mr. Lane that he cannot hog the parking spaces and that they'll be monitoring the situation for some time after that.
They told him it was a public street, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they sure did.
Okay. And then what happened?
Oh, well, Mr. Lane wasn't too happy about it. And after the police left, he turned to me and he shook his finger and he said, "You better be careful about parking in front of my house." And he's actually left notes. I have a note here. I've got some evidence here that you may want to see. There's a note that he left on my car.
Telling you not to park in front of his house?
Yeah, not to park in front of his house. And there's the picture of the damage on my vehicle.
I see that it's keyed pretty badly. From the front of the light all the way back to the door.
It's the whole length of the driver's side.
Oh, the entire length.
That's
wow.
right.
Is that a truck?
Yes.
What type of truck?
It's a Dodge Ram.
Okay.
It's 2001 Dodge Ram.
Ooh, that's a pretty big truck.
Yep, that's right.
And this is his sign saying "Stop parking here" that he had put on your car, your truck?
Yes, that's what he put on my vehicle.
This your handwriting? Well, let me let him show it to you.
May I also see the picture, Your Honor?
Oh, yes, you may.
Oh,
who's your witness, Mr. Link? What does he have to offer?
Handwriting.
Have a seat. Miss Lewis, you may have a seat. Mr. Link, step forward.
Hey, how you doing, Your Honor? My name is Mr. Link.
And what do you have to tell me?
I'm the eyewitness. Actually, I have to tell you is I saw that defendant near her vehicle. He's actually near her vehicle, moving around and messing with the car and stuff, because I get up 5 o'clock every morning to smoke a cigarette, and I was just actually my viewing, actually saw what he was doing and stuff.
What was he doing?
And, it was like he was just taking his hand, like going across the car. Like,
So you could just see his hand, but you couldn't see what was in his hand.
yeah, it seemed like it was a key or something, Your Honor. And I know, like every time that she parks near his driveway, he gets upset. And I'm like, if that's the case, you want you just park in your own driveway because it's everybody's place, because it's for the whole community. So it's not nobody's space, it's everybody's space.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
I don't know what he's talking about by yelling at anybody. I was very humiliated when they called the police. This is ridiculous, you know.
Why did they call the police?
This is an issue that can be solved between the two of us.
And later,
So why did you jump toward that way? You didn't want to jump in somebody's lap?
It just kind of was set
You didn't
up,
give it any
set up
thought,
that way.
really?
I didn't. I thought that I was going to catch this girl, and I wasn't expecting her to come running at me.
Justice with Judge Mablean. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Gina Lewis, who is suing Mark Lane for property damage.
You couldn't convince Mr. Lane to let her park there?
That man is
You
a
were
lot
going
of work.
there, huh?
Yeah, he's a lot of work, so I just left that alone.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Lane is not a lot of work. He looked like a little sweetie pie. Mr. Lane, why they saying those bad things about you? Have a seat, Mr. Lane.
I don't know what he's talking about by yelling at anybody. I was very humiliated when they called the police. This is ridiculous, you know.
Why did they call the police?
This is an issue that can be solved between the two of us.
That street in front of your house is yours.
Well, that street, I feel it's not that it's mine, but it's easier for me to park there. If I park in my driveway, which is narrow, I have to park out, to pull out. When I go anywhere, I have to crane my neck, and I have arthritis in my neck, my knees. It's very hard for me to turn.
Is your driveway real close to the house or something?
Well, the driveway is close to the house, but it's much easier for me if I park in the street.
You can open the door wider.
I open the door and get in the car and take off. I don't have to do any craning and turning and twisting.
But you understand that that's a public street, though.
Well, yes, but I thought it would be understandable due to my health conditions if I parked in front of my house.
Did you key that car, her truck?
Your Honor, to be honest with you, I never even heard of the term keying. I didn't even know what it meant.
Oh, well, forget what it means and forget the term. Did you take a key and run across the side of her car?
No. I would never do that.
But you were angry that she kept parking that car in front of your house?
I don't like the idea that she parked her car there, but I certainly thought we could resolve this peacefully.
And what would be your peaceful resolution?
That she doesn't park in front of my house.
That's the only resolution you can come up with?
Yes.
Well, where is she supposed to park? If she only has 4 spaces in her driveway, and it's 6 cars, and there's an apartment building, and the street apparently is a little overcrowded, and parking spaces are limited. If she gets to your house first and you're not there, where's she supposed to park?
Well, that's her problem.
But that's not the law, Mr. Lane. I'm sorry, sir. There is evidence that you keyed the car. There's enough to reasonably believe that you did so based upon, I believe there's a preponderance of the evidence.
Well,
when you're really, really uptight about this, now she's embarrassed and humiliated you because she's called the police about this. That makes you even more angry about it because you're a fine, upstanding citizen, and all of a sudden you got the police involved in this matter like you're some common criminal. I know that upset you very much, did it not?
Well, I may have been very upset about things, but I still would not do this key thing. It's just not in my nature.
So you just think that some stranger did it?
Well, I have my own theories.
I'm sorry, and I hate to do this to you, and you seem like a wonderful and a nice man, but you cannot do that. And I have enough evidence to believe that you did do that damage to her car, her truck, and I'm going to have to charge you for it. And please don't do anything else because you don't want to be arrested. You can be arrested.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I know you don't want to go to jail over a parking space, do you?
No.
Okay, so don't do anything foolish like that again, because, you know, that's criminal behavior. It's called vandalism. That's a criminal offense, a misdemeanor offense. Vandalism of a vehicle can get you in jail.
I am not a vandal, Your Honor.
Keying a car is called vandalism.
Well,
Kicking a car is called vandalism. Breaking out a window is called damage to the car. That could get you in jail.
I still do deny that I
Okay,
did
so
this
if you
keying
deny
thing.
it, I believe you did it, but I'm warning you, don't do anything else that you may think about doing, okay?
I will accept your warning.
All right, thank you. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $700.
I'm glad this situation has been resolved and I can move on with my life.
Yeah, I guess I have to let you park in my driveway.
Coming up.
Well, he was standing pretty close to the cake, preparing to do the move.